Mike, check 1 2. It's the Y2K collector. And when I think about how far we've come, going from handhelds like the Game Boy Pocket all the way to where we're now, where we have a Switch OLED and a Switch 2, it is just crazy. And it makes me happy and it makes me sad at the same time. But I think more than anything else, it makes me afraid. And I'll tell you why. I remember a time where video games were an escape. You were able to escape the world, escape problems, escape issues you were dealing with at school, escape your parents, escape your siblings. You were able to grab a handheld, run into the most quiet part of your house, and as long as there was a light source, of course, you were able to lose yourself in whatever world you decided to choose that day. Whether it was the world of Batman, Darkwing Duck, Super Mario, Metroid, whichever world you decided to go to, you could go there and you knew that once you were in that world, you were the only one there. It was just you, your handheld, the game, completely unbothered, completely untethered, in your own world, in your own universe. And in 2025, what we're seeing, especially with the Switch 2, is that that will no longer be the case. Um, I don't think that will ever be the case again because I don't think video games are being built to be that escape for people. In fact, I feel like video games these days are being built to keep people connected, which is understandable. During the pandemic, obviously, we couldn't get together. We couldn't engage in couch co op play because everybody had to be home and separated. And so, what a lot of these companies decided to do was they decided to make these quality of life enhancements and improvements, um, and add these online features that allows people to engage online and engage virtually. But at the same time, what they're doing is they're monitoring you. You are no longer escaping anything. They are monitoring you. You have to be connected to the network. You have to be somehow connected and tied to the mainframe, which means that on some level, even the most minute level, you're being monitored. They're watching you. They're watching what you do. They're watching how long you're logged on for. They're watching who you're connected to, who your friends are. And now that there's a microphone and a camera in place, they're watching you even more, right? And for someone like me, a dude who grew up during that era where video games were the escape, now it just seems like they're not an escape at all because of the fact that you're being watched and you're being monitored. And some people might say, well, Y2K, this isn't new. You know, people have been connecting their consoles to the internet for over a decade. And that's true. This is true. I'm not saying that connecting consoles to the internet is new, but it feels different, right? It feels different. And two, we are in much more of an information age than ever before. And we're also in an age where data is processed at a much faster and at a much more efficient rate when you factor in AI. And if you don't think that these companies are using AI already, you're sadly mistaken. Most major companies, most major businesses, there is a section of their company that is completely and totally dedicated to leveraging AI, whether it be generative AI, prescriptive AI, analytical AI. There is some form of artificial intelligence being deployed in every major company, not just video games, for any company you could think of. Think of a major food distributor. Think of your favorite supermarket. There is a division at a corporate level for your favorite supermarket where they're figuring out how to leverage AI to generate sales by getting to know you, the customer, better. And if you don't think that this isn't something that's being used by Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo, all the major players, you're sorely mistaken. And being connected, being tethered to these uh, servers, these online services, it's just another way for you to be monitored and for them to capture more data on you and how you operate um, through their systems, using their video games. It's all a means for that. And one of the biggest things that I saw with the Switch 2 was that you couldn't really even use it. I don't think you could barely use it unless you I guess installed a day one patch. There's like a day one patch that's almost mandatory for you to get the full functionality out of the system. And right out of the gate, there, you can't even you can't even just enjoy the console, by yourself in the solitude of your home anymore. Now it's like, hey, as soon as you get it, you got to tether it. You have to connect to our network. We have to start monitoring you from day one. That's really what it is. And again, I'm not saying Nintendo's the first or the only company to do this. Many companies do this. But it just kind of makes me afraid that what made gaming so special to me, the solitude, being untethered, not being tied to anything, just me, my Game Boy, and one of my favorite games. It's like that's gone now. And we're all in this connected, tethered universe of updating and staying connected and being connected, and let me get the camera out and let me monitor you and let's talk together and let's play together, and that there's a time and a place for that. I'm not knocking that, but I just kind of long for the days where we got something new that you could just enjoy by yourself without having to be connected. And this is why I love retro games. I just got this Legend Blue Game Boy Pocket the other day. I've always wanted it in this colorway. Always. I've had a yellow one, I've had a red one, but I've always wanted this colorway, and I finally got one. And I'm really digging this thing. I might have to look into getting this back screen, the screen backlit, because I really want to be able to play games on it. I really do it just enjoy the color, and then I really do enjoy the form factor. Game Boy Pocket's really small. I always forget how small it is, because I'm always thinking that it's just a slimmer version of the the big gray brick original Game Boy, but the Pocket's really small. It fits right in your pocket, and with those two AAA batteries, you do get a decent amount of battery life with this. So I've got a vacation coming up. My family and I are going to be heading out. I'm super excited about this vacation, and sitting here trying to figure out which handhelds I'm gonna bring. But where I'm going, I do want to be untethered. I don't want to feel connected, which means I'm probably going to be leaving my Switch at home. And I'm probably going to bring a retro handheld. Either I'll bring my retro handheld, or at best, I will bring my analog. So we'll see. We'll see. My daughter, on the other hand, she may want the Switch because she's got games like Bluey on there and other games that she plays. But for me, I will be bringing either like a Game Boy Pocket or something like that to stay untethered, because I'm afraid that we're getting lost in all this connectivity. But let me know what you think. Do you think that we're being watched, we're being monitored? And if so, why do you think that is? And how do you think these companies plan to leverage AI to basically drain us of more finances? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. I'll catch you in the next one. It's the Y2K Collector.